Hey beauties, welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I'm a medical professional, business leader, author, speaker, and adversity recovery expert, bringing you fascinating guests, business, beauty, and lifestyle tips to help you create a beautiful life, and always committed to keeping it real. Now let's dive in.
The loss of a loved one is a nearly universal emotional crisis. Unprocessed grief and painful feelings can be buried, leaving you to feel numb. But there is hope. Certified grief counselor, RN, and author Sherry Ricard shares her story of how to cope in her first book, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey, after the loss of her 17-year-old son. This book, along with Sherry's other books, are available on Amazon as well as on sherryricard.com.
Today's episode is sponsored by BRA, Business Relationship Alliance, a network of powerful women devoted to advancing female-owned businesses by providing the community, collaboration, mentorship, empowerment, and support needed to flourish as an entrepreneur. Jump over to bra-network.com, become a member today for 20% off by using discount code GIRLTALK. That's bra-network.com. Hello, my beauties. It's me, Sherry, back for another episode of Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. Great to be with you. Shout out to all of my loyal listeners. If you haven't left a review on Apple Podcast, please do. I am so grateful when you take the time and leave a rating and review. I know everyone is super busy, but reviews mean the world to me, and it helps to get the show out to others. So it's time to introduce my rock star guest, Ginger King. She has a unique 360-degree view of beauty, from receiving a degree in chemistry, an MBA in marketing, as well as a master's in natural product chemistry. She served as senior management at several large cosmetic corporations. She has a consulting company, Grace Kingdom Beauty, that helps beauty brands create products from concept to counter. And we're going to talk about that with her too. She is an active member of Cosmetic Executive Women and Society of Cosmetic Chemists. Ginger has been the keynote speaker for brand launches. She has spoken on product development and in cosmetics on product innovation. Not only is Ginger a beauty expert on the Beauty Press, she has served as Allure's beauty judge for breakthrough products since 2017. And Yahoo's Diversity in Beauty Award 2018, Beauty Packaging Award 2019, and New Beauty Magazine Brain Trust 2020. And we are going to talk about her new venture of her own beauty brand, FanLoveBeauty, as well. Welcome to the show, Ginger.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have you because as a beauty junkie is what I like to call myself. I am over the moon to have you because I have so many questions to ask you. But I want to start with your background because it is super impressive. I mean, you're basically a cosmetic chemist. And with that, I know you know a lot about different products and how products can affect our skin as well as our health. And I want to talk about FanLoveBeauty as well and the lip balm that you've come out with and why it is so unique. But let's start a little bit about how you help others bring their products to the counter.
Okay, so a lot of people want to have their own brand, and I highly encourage entrepreneurship because everybody, especially women, need to create our own economy. So how I usually do is I will create a concept branding because having a product is very easy. But what draws people to buy your product is a different story. So having the brand foundation is very critical. So I start with helping you with branding, helping you to find the unique technology that will be relevant to your brand DNA. And then I will start formulating for you that is uniquely yours.
Average person that just loves beauty products, what is it that is unique about her products that would set her apart from someone else?
I usually would have an hour deep dive of understanding the why why you want to have your own product line? Because there are already so many products out there. If you want to come up with your own beauty brand, you better have a strong reason why. It's not just because you like beauty products. If you like beauty products, you can just be a consumer. And if you want to create a brand, it must be meaningful. Otherwise, if you hit any obstacles, you are not going to be continue to push in for what you love.
You know, I love that, Ginger, because I think that is in everyday life. If you don't have a why on what you're doing, when you do run over an obstacle, just like you said, you have a more of a tendency to stop in your tracks, because you really don't ever have a why you even started in the first place. And I always said that my why power is much stronger than my willpower. So if people look at losing weight, for an example, if you just have a weak willpower, but you have an exceptional why power of why you want to lose weight, it is not easy, but it's a lot easier to stay on track if you hit that weight plateaus.
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about in the beauty brand. So what do you do as far as, say you take someone that wants to create a brand and you think they have a really cool, unique idea. How does that go from an idea to the counter?
I will evaluate the idea, and then I'll do some competitive studies to find the white space, and I'll put together a proposal, and then I will propose unique technologies that's different, that's nobody else have. I put them together maybe in a complex that is only to you. You will notice a lot of brands that I have this proprietary complex of certain technologies. That's what I do for people. And I will suggest what kind of product you should be making, what kind of packaging, because packaging actually goes hand in hand with the beauty products, especially if it's a color cosmetics. Packaging is more like everything. And I will put together the pricing, where you should be pricing at. Because at the end of the day, you not only want to serve the society, you also need to make some sort of profit. Otherwise, you'll be a nonprofit organization. So it's a 360 view of how to do your beauty business.
I have a really good friend. Well, I have a few friends that have a different line of products. And one of my friends, Deandra Simmons, she's actually a celebrity on Bravo TV, and she has a skincare line called Hard Night Good Morning. And it is the most beautiful packaging for a skincare line that I have personally ever seen. It's beautiful. It has your plush and your rose gold and just beautiful. Even the box itself is beautiful. And then you take the product out and it's even more beautiful. But better than that, it works really well too. So I was going to ask you too. So as a consumer, what should we be looking for in a product if, because like you said, there's so many products out there and they're like, oh, well, this particular brand is really good. It helps with wrinkles. Well, this brand is really good. It helps with dry skin. Well, when you have hundreds of people saying that, what should we be looking for? Is there a certain ingredient that makes a particular product more expensive? And is more expensive mean that it's actually better?
It's not necessarily. I found with bigger companies, because they have the advertising budget, and their advertising budget comes from the price that they charge you. And there are companies that will actually put really good ingredients. When you look at the ingredient listing, usually it's the first 5 ingredient list that you look at it, because it's by percentage. And after the first 5, the company can do it anywhere. So the percentage doesn't really mean a lot. And also sometimes you don't need to use a lot of the active ingredients to have the efficacy. So what you want to pay attention is if the company has any clinically claims. If they say it's clinically tested, they have to have proof, because clinically tested is very expensive. Even better if they have before and after pictures to show you.
Well, and two, I was going to ask you about before and after pictures, because, now we can just actually flip on a filter on our camera and take filtered pictures. Is there some law against them being able to do that?
When I said the before and after pictures, usually it's done by a third-party clinical lab. It's not the consumer before after pictures, because if it's done by third party, that's a blind test. So it's a very objectively testing and also evaluated by experts. So it's not like you and I do the before and after pictures. You and I do the before and after picture. It's called consumer feedback. It's consumer
Mm.
testimonial. I'm talking about clinical testing. So
Mm.
clinical testing is very objective. And this is why you see companies like QVC, HSN, those on air, they require clinical testing because they are governed by those FTC laws. You cannot just say, well, my friend used this, it makes them look better. Those are customer testimonials. They don't carry as much weight as clinical data.
Now, where would you find clinical data on a particular skin line product that you're looking at?
Usually the companies will advertise because they already spend tons of money into it. They will show you their clinical data.
Okay, so we need to look for clinical data, and we also need to look at the first 5 ingredients because that is the higher percentage of whatever ingredient that is in the product. And that goes for food as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about how skincare or particular cosmetics, not necessarily just skincare, how can that affect your skin in a negative way? So say somebody buys an expensive, beautiful branded, very well-known skincare product and it does beautiful on my friend, and then I use it and my face breaks out.
Skin sensitivity.
Mm.
Because it's just like people have food allergies, people will have different skin sensitivity. Also, depending on your skin type, if your friend have like a dry skin and this very heavy product works beautifully for her skin, and if you have oily skin, of course you're more prone to break out because you overburden your oil glands.
That makes perfect sense. Is there something in particular that we can use to clean our pores out that actually works?
Usually any cleansers should do that. So what you want to take a look at a cleanser and watch what people claim. Because people may not know claim is actually regulated, even though FDA does not have the time to watch every single companies on what they do. But if the claim is too much like claim like a drug, FDA will come after you. Like a lot of people, especially like the CBDs, a lot of companies get warning letters from FDA because they claim it's like a wonderful drug. There is a fine line between cosmetics and drug. Cosmetics that should not alter the appearance or do anything that's like a drug-like. It should only like make your skin look or appear better. It should not technically change anything.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
So, you have all these products that claim to increase collagen in your skin. Is that real?
When they say to increase collagen in their skin, they did in vitro study. It's actually they do cell culture. It's not that's another thing I want consumers to pay attention to. What kind of clinicals are they talking about? If they say in vitro, that means it's test tube testing. So basically they put the product on the cell to see how the cell respond. But if they put let's say if they put 1% of the material on the cell culture, on human, you actually need 10% of the material to show any results. On human, it's called in vivo. So I value in vivo testing more than in vitro testing.
Very interesting. And so that data, we can see that on the actual product brand, or do we have to go look for it?
Usually, if the company spend enough money, they will actually put that out there. Otherwise, the clinical testing is very expensive. We're talking about $12,000 to $15,000 minimum. So if company is willing to spend that kind of money, they will put it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll advertise it all day long. And then for those that aren't even mentioning it, then we would have to assume that they did not do clinical testing. So that makes a whole lot of sense. Let me ask you this, because you are a chemist, and I am very particular about what I put on my face, but I also, like I said, I'm a beauty junkie. So if somebody says they have something better for my skin and I see that it has worked on someone else, I will definitely try it. But what I don't do is I won't promote, because I have a lot of people that send me things, right? So I have a lot of people that send me products because they want me to talk about it on my social media and on my show. However, I won't do that unless I have used it myself and I know for a fact that it works wonderfully. So I know that I have used particular products, and then I've talked about my friend Deandra, which I love her Hard Night Good Morning products. Truth, I think this is a Truth treatment system. I love Ben's products that he came out with. He's also a chemist. He's like a cosmetic pharmacist, but he's great. His products are really, really good. And so I don't mind talking about other people's products if I've tried them. I've tried them myself. But how do we know when we're actually listening to someone, whether it's genuine or not? Would you say that a majority of the celebrities are just promoting a product because they're getting paid to do so?
But for anybody who wants to endorse anything, I will highly recommend the person truly use that product. Otherwise, it's not genuine. It's like you don't pay a model to talk about Coca-Cola and that person drink Pepsi. It's
Right.
just,
Right. I think it's all about being genuine and very authentic. And that's why I never want, but I'm certainly not endorsing a particular product saying that it will work for everyone, because like you said, people do have skin sensitivities. I do like to talk about products that I know that work well for me, because I am not going to be that person that grows old gracefully. Everybody that knows me knows that. I'm going to be that person that's going to fight it all the way to the grave. So that being said, tell me a little bit about diets and how our diets can affect our skin, because I know that keto is really big right now. Vegan diets are big right now. You have all of these different ways of eating to lose weight. How does that affect our skin?
Beauty is internal and external. Whatever you're taking in is gonna be reflect externally.
Right.
So if you're gonna be eating all kind of junk food, of course it's gonna affect your skin, because it's like internal, external all together. Yeah. So watch what you eat is absolutely essential. If you eat too much sugar, you actually will get aged faster because of the glycation in the cell. It's a proven data that it's called glycation. Glycation is like a sugar on the skin and will make your skin look older fast.
Okay, so did you hear that, ladies? Sugar makes you age and look older. Therefore, I am eliminating sugar from my diet, effective immediately. But I will tell you, I am on keto right now, and I'm doing that only because it's something that's easy for me to stick to when I travel. It's easy to grab foods that fall in line with the keto diet. And it's easier for my husband as well. So when we're together on the weekends, it makes it easier for us to cook and go out to eat, because he likes everything on keto. So it makes it easier. But what I did find, Ginger, is when I first started the keto, I noticed an instant breakout of blemishes, which I don't get very often, but it was an instant breakout of blemishes on my skin. I don't know if it's because I just completely stopped putting sugar in and my body started freaking out, going, "Where is your sugar?" And so it got mad at me and came out with redness and blemishes on my face. But is there a particular food that is worse for you other than sugar that can cause you to break out on your face just instantly, like overnight?
Well, sometimes like peanuts or like a high grease products can do that as well.
High grease and peanuts. That makes sense, because those are two things that you can completely eat on keto. So you can eat lots of grease and peanuts. So I'll have to be careful about that. We're getting good information from you today. So I want to talk a little bit about, before we get into the FanLoveBeauty product that you have, because I'm excited about that and why you created it and who was your mentor that helped you through it. That's very exciting too. Our audience is going to know who he is. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about your why and why you went this route. I know that you had a love for beauty since you were 16 years old, and you're gorgeous and your skin is absolutely gorgeous. So I will tell you that it's beautiful. But I know that you had some struggles of adversity, and was that kind of your why? Tell us a little bit about the struggles that you had when you were younger and what your why is and why you do what you do now.
Okay. I actually grew up in beauty. My mom was the first woman brought, she said, the boutique from Japan to Taiwan. That's where I grew up. But then at the time, I never know about, like, I want to be in the field. I was just exposed to it. So early exposure to what you want to do is actually very important. It's kind of seeding in you without you realizing it. So when I came to America, that was when I was 16, I started wearing makeup because I wasn't allowed to wear makeup when I was in Taiwan as a student. I started wearing makeup and then I was like, wow, makeup can really make a huge difference in a person's appearance, the outlook, the confidence. So I was like, oh, I want to be a makeup artist. But because I'm Asian, it's very important for me to get at least a master's degree, if not a PhD. We are like a very education-focused culture. And so it's like there is no way I can become a cosmetologist. Even though I apply for the school and they call me, and when my family pick up the phone, it's like, cosmetology? No, she never applied it. There's no such person here.
Oh, no.
I click on the phone. So then I was like, okay, if I cannot be a cosmetologist, if you want me to have and quote unquote a noble profession, like either have to be a surgeon, cosmetic surgeon, or a cosmetic chemist, some sort of science degree.
Right.
I was like, well, being a surgeon is fun, but I don't necessarily like blood because I'm gonna be touching blood.
Yeah, that right there is a non-negotiable. You have to be able to touch blood.
Yeah. So I was like, cosmetic chemist, because I love makeup. Then why don't I learn how to make cosmetics so I can still have my passion and satisfy the Asian culture, the family side? And this is the reason why I majored in chemistry. However, at the time, there wasn't really any school teaching you how to make cosmetic chemistry. So I just major a regular chemistry, just a chemistry degree. Then when I first looking for a position in cosmetic chemistry, there isn't really anything available either. So I ended up in food. My very first job is actually working for Dole Foods Company, the pineapple company. And what I was doing there was analyzing the vitamin C in the juices, fruit juices. That was like the closest I can get, vitamin C.
That was your first step, vitamin C analysis.
Yeah, that's enough for me because my heart, my passion is still in cosmetics. So I took up a part-time and weekend job at Macy's. I was a beauty consultant for Estee Lauder because that's what I really want to do. So I was able to be a makeup artist at the counter.
Oh, that's nice.
So I combine my passion to my day job also because at the time, Dole has an issue they call it the pink disease. The pineapple, they turn black, but they don't know why. I was the one saying, well, this reminds me of the self-tanning situation like in our beauty makeup. At the time, Estee Lauder was promoting the sunless beauty, the self-tanning lotion.
Yeah.
I bought the bottle of the DHA product and I analyzed it to the pineapple disease. It's identical. It's the exact reaction. So I solved the problem using my passion.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I just love beauty ever since because everything I do is evolved within beauty. Even though when I was in food industry, I was able to use my passion and solve a problem. So I was able to get a position in the food industry. It wasn't enough for me. I did the counter job. So there was 1 year, just like I drove down to Southern California. It's just like a 6-hour drive. I basically knock on every single door and asking people, say, I want to be a cosmetic chemist, hire me. Because all the positions are in Southern California. I was in Northern California at the time.
Wow.
And I knocked about 20 doors and landed my very first job in cosmetics. Yeah, but because it was the first job, you practically just get your foot in the door. You take anything. So I was doing I was doing the actual work during the day and doing the research and development at night because that wasn't the perfect position for me. So within a couple transitions, I landed to a brand that I truly like because I prefer to working with a brand rather than a contract manufacturer.
Right.
And then Avon Cosmetics moved me to New York. The rest is history. Then I kind of become corporate, and then I went to different companies to build up my portfolio. So I actually have been into every single aspect in the industry, from the counter girl to retail, the retail to formulation. Then later on, I went to be a director of product development on the marketing side for a company. I went to work for raw material suppliers to learn how the innovation comes from, because everybody can dream to have the next technology, but if you don't have the next technology available to support you, your product is never going to come to fruition, because you need to have some sort of feasibility. Then I decided to have my own company, and I started my consulting company when I was starting another skincare company with a partner. It was actually difficult because doing an indie brand, it takes a lot of investment. There was a reason why I have to do consulting on the side to build the cash flow to go for my skincare company. I had a skincare company for about 5 years, and I'm ending it because my partner is no longer wanting to do it. It's very hard if your partner doesn't want to go with you. That's why I'm kind of scale back and starting my own.
I love that, because it doesn't matter what adversity you face. I mean, you just said all you did was reroute and take another route to get where you wanted to go in the first place, right? And so you have an amazing mentor, and I think if anybody watches Shark Tank, they know who Damon is. And Damon is a mogul, basically, and a mentor to several people, and he is your mentor. So
yes.
what has he done to help you?
I actually know Damon through social media. I've been following for 10 years, and we actually become friends. What happened was, there was one time I was talking to him, and he took out a lip balm in front of me. And I was like, Damon, if it's something that close to you, that's in your pocket, on your lips, it has to be mine. So I went ahead and developed a product for him. And then because I know this product is so good, and I created a brand out of this product.
I know you created this lip balm, and I'm excited because you're sending me some lip balm. So I'm fired up about that. But I want to know a little bit about it, because you created it. The first part of the reason why you did it originally was you wanted to do that for speakers.
Because Damon Jung is a motivational speaker himself, besides his role as a Shark Tank investor.
Right.
And as a speaker, you can drink water, but you cannot drink water all day long, because your schedule, you may not even have time to go to the bathroom. So again, this comes to the internal and external. Internally, you have to hydrate yourself. But drinking a lot of water does not prevent you from having dry lips. My lip balm, what it does is actually hydrate your lip immediately and over time as well. And it's the healthiest choice ever. When I was looking what he was using, because again, I do competitive review analysis, I didn't like the fact that what he is using has petrolatum in there, because petrolatum belongs to is a petrochemical, which belongs to the gas station, not on his lips. Another product he used contains lanolin, which is from the wool. It's the animal grease. If you use it long term, you actually can develop an allergic reaction to it. So then there are people who say, well, why don't I use a 100% natural lip balm? Look at the landscape. 90% of the 100% natural lip balm contains beeswax, because beeswax is cheap. Now, I don't use beeswax for a couple of reasons. First of all, where do you get natural beeswax? You have to get it from the beehives. That's the bee's home. Why are you disturbing their home? And for your humans' beauty needs, it's not considered cruelty-free. Therefore, if you have a natural product containing beeswax, you cannot call yourself vegan. Mine is vegan. Mine doesn't have any beeswax. Secondly, it's because Damon Jung is my mentor. And I would say the whole brand philosophy behind the FanLoveBeauty is it embodies the spirit of what he has taught me from the 10 years on Shark Tank and off Shark Tank. He is an advocate for health. He said, if a healthy person, you can have 1,000 dreams. If you are sick, you can only have one dream. And this is the reason why I use the healthiest lip ingredients ever. Secondly, he also is a heavy advocate for save the bees because bees are diminishing. So why should we disrupt their ecology? So mine is vegan and with all the best ingredients available. It's full of superfoods that's good for you. And like avocado, that's the best super fast flaxseed oil, contains natural omega-3 and 6. It's good to help to heal your chapped lips. It contains this sea asparagus, which is very expensive. This ingredient alone cost me $1,000 a kilo.
Wow.
But I use it because it's clinically proven to boost hydration by up to 6,000% over 28 days.
Wow.
So my lip balm gives you a short term from the coconut, from the avocado, give you the immediate hydration, and also the long term from the sea asparagus that boosts the hydration. I also have ingredients like mango. Why do I use mango? Because the social cause for my brand is to donate to Suicide Prevention Foundation. Mango is being used to treat depression. I want people to feel good. I mean, not necessarily in terms of like use in my product, but mango in general is good for depression as a fruit that you take. So every single ingredient that I use in my product has a meaning behind it. It's not just like I want to make a profit and just put the cheapest ingredient together and throw it and call it a lip balm. And this is the reason why my lip balm is not the least expensive, but I want to price it affordable for everybody. I'm seriously not making a lot of money out of this. I want to do this as a contribution to the society and also to help everybody have healthy and hydrated lips.
I think that's beautiful, Ginger. Now, why did you choose suicide prevention as your charity of choice?
Suicide prevention is because the reason why I call this brand FanLoveBeauty is because I want to create this brand for fans, like because every group has their groupies and only fans want to give their idols the very best. So the mission for FanLoveBeauty is we create beauty products for people who inspire, educate, or entertain the society. And a lot of people in these three categories actually fall into suicide mode, such as Kate Spade, Robin Williams, Antonio Bourdain. So it's like if they would have stayed longer, it will help them to help the society to have even more contribution. And also being an entrepreneur, we know entrepreneur is a very lonely role. It's very easy to go down to that path as well. So this is kind of a reason to kind of remind myself as well to stay put, to keep going, working toward your love, and don't ever think about that suicide route because people can go down that route so easily, especially when you just starting your brand.
Yeah, I completely agree. And some of it about my background, and I've had, I don't want to call it a privilege because it was very unfortunate that I've even was put into this purpose in life, but I have met many mothers who have lost children to suicide. On some of my speaking platforms, I've met them, and it's heartbreaking. The stories are absolutely heartbreaking how a 14-year-old chooses to not live anymore. So I appreciate you giving back to suicide prevention organizations. That's a beautiful, beautiful cause to support. So thank you for that. But I want you to tell everybody before we go off, where can we get this lip balm?
It's on my website, FanLoveBeauty.com, FanLoveBeauty, FanLoveBeauty.com.
FanLoveBeauty.com for the lip balm. And then where can we find you for those that do want to use you to help them in getting their products to the stores and to the counters? Where can they contact you?
Can contact me through my website, GraceKingdomBeauty.com. GraceKingdomBeauty, GraceKingdomBeauty.com.
GraceKingdomBeauty.com. And where can we find you on social media?
The Beauty Shark Ginger.
The Beauty Shark Ginger. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you so so much, Ginger. I really, really do appreciate you being here today and giving us all of this good information, because there's a lot of beauty junkies out there, not just me. So thank you very much. And guys, listen, before we go off, I just want to give you a little bit of inspiration like I always do. I want you to really step out of your comfort zone, because nothing happens exciting when we're sitting in our comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Empower yourself. Listen to podcasts and follow social media that inspire you and educate you and uplift you, and unfollow and get rid of the negativity in your life, because your brain is actually like a sponge. Just like your car accepts fuel to go, you have to be able to fuel your brain with something positivity in your life in order for you to reach your dreams and your aspirations and go and grow through life in a positive mindset. So until next week, keep your faith in God. I will be praying for you.